Thank you, Acting Speaker, and how lovely it is to see you in the chair this afternoon to be able to deliver my contribution to this debate on the Private Security and County Court Amendment Bill 2024. I've been listening to those since the member for Berwick opened this debate speaking about security guards. It's actually something I've got some intimate knowledge of, possibly like yourself, Acting Speaker, intimate knowledge of private security guards in particular, not only private security guards that have perhaps escorted you from the venue every now and then, or perhaps maybe asked me politely to vacate a venue. Actually, while I speak on that, it reminds me of that I should pay my respects to one of those bouncers, who later became a friend, Gary Barrel Lowe, who was actually a part owner of a nightclub where I grew up, but also a bouncer, and may or may not have asked me to escort to leave the venue a couple of times, but he passed away really suddenly in January, which was quite a shock. Also a school friend of my mum's, so Varley Gary Lowe. But I've also worked with security guards, different organisations many years ago, many decades ago perhaps. I would help out the private security guards at the Grand Prix, actually here in Albert Park, with catering all sorts of things. I've always got a story to tell about every topic, I know. So, but you know, there is some very highly skilled, very good people working in the industry. However, this bill for an act to amend the Private Security Act 2004 to provide for a new licensing system for the private security industry is well overdue, I would suggest, and there are a few issues that we can talk about, like those security guards. I have to stop myself from saying bouncers, because back in my day they were bouncers. In fact, I've been I won't use that term, we'll say security guard, on the odd occasion back in the day at private venues, not an official one, but again, intimate knowledge of the subject. But there are some issues. Like I said, there are some very highly skilled people that work in this sector, like the sporting venues, Grand Prix, for example, licensed venues, the cricket. Obviously, they need to be highly skilled at times to be able to chase after those who may enter the pitch. But there has been, as we well know, and it's been spoken about in this place as well, some of the issues surrounding the industry. It is I suppose the workforce is characterised by the highly casualised, relatively low-paid and transient nature of it, and the workforce. And those security companies, and I do know this, although back in my day you had to go on, and I know this ages me a lot, but you had to actually go and attend a course. The course then I think was 2 days at about 4 hours each, and at the end of that you got your licence. Probably not ideal for some of the situations that private security guards are. But now, you know, the on-the-job training seldom occurs. You know, sometimes it would be you could walk in and become a security guard first, and then the venue or the pub would train you. But now it's most employers, because of the highly casualised nature of it, and the low pay, the subcontractors, and all of that. It's usually go and do the training yourself, and most employers are not willing to invest in the casual, or invest in their staff, which is a real shame. It is a real shame, because it is a massive industry with, I saw some notes here before, 11,000 security businesses in Australia. That's a lot of security businesses, and 147,000 individual licence holders. It's a big industry. So, an overhaul to the industry is well overdue. And obviously, and this has been spoken about as well, the COVID quarantine debacle that was. And the COVID-19 hotel quarantine inquiry final report noted that as I said, that casualised nature of the industry and the associated lack of job security, appropriate training, knowledge in the safety and workplace rights and responsibilities too. And I was listening very carefully to the member for Berwick talk about sometimes there is a lack of knowledge as to what the responsibilities are for a security guard. Is it your responsibility to... And we all would have seen footage of the Michael Hill raid, burglary that happened in a shopping centre a few weeks ago, and you can see the security guard standing back. And it's interesting to learn that it's not their job to jump in front of armed bandits, I suppose, but having that knowledge of what the responsibilities are, what your rights are, is really, really important. But the industry and the associated lack of knowledge sometimes and the appropriate training, the inquiry concluded that the overwhelming majority of security guards who worked in the hotel quarantine program, most of them did so honestly and with goodwill. But the inquiry heard of a number of complaints about the behaviour of guards, and I think one of the quotes that was made was some of them were overly friendly. I mean, that could be subjective, perhaps. Bullying and consuming of alcohol while working. Now, again, this leads me to another story. Back in my day, when I would work at a pub, on the odd occasion would get called in to help security, particularly if it was females causing issues, which would never happen. I know you're very surprised by this, Acting Speaker, but sometimes females can cause some issues in nightclubs. But I've just completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, I know. Clearly, everyone's really involved. No, that's where I was going. So back in my day when I used to actually DJ and help out the security guards, not really DJ, not like it was more like spinning the wheels of steel rather than using actual records, and nowhere near as good as DJ Southey, I can assure you. And I haven't got moves like that either, so don't even ask. Absolutely. Oh, no. Different venue. I would have actually really needed security if I had have played Taylor Swift in those days. Was not... back in those days, it was one of those venues. The colour was it started a similar colour to this, but was quite sticky. Because it was the 90s. It was stickies and it had a pungent odour. I digress. There was a number of occasions there, and we're getting back to highly skilled, very capable people working in the security industry. On a number of occasions, I did have to call on the security guards, the actual security guards in the venue, to actually come and help me out a little bit while I was behind the deck spinning the wheels of steel. That's twice now I've got that in. So, look, again, it's an industry that I have knowledge of, and I have utmost respect for, because we do need them, both the private security and the technical security. It's been an absolute pleasure to contribute to this debate whilst you've been sitting in the chair, Acting Speaker. It really has. But as has been said by every member on this side, we're not opposing this bill. Yes, there's a few issues, few concerns around it, but it is well and truly overdue. And I was going to keep it brief because, let's face it, we're all hungry. But thank you very much.